Hello, welcome once again to my channel. I hope you've had a wonderful day. My day has been very fulfilling as well. Busy, but as usual, I look forward into achieving another thing every day, every moment. This is an inspirational channel where we get to share our experiences and discuss the things that matters to us, the things that make us who we are, even as we journey to become. Welcome once again. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe so that whenever I post new videos, you'll be able to be notified, and therefore we can journey this life together as we get to challenge and inspire each other every single day. Today, I want to take a moment to reflect about our identity, who we are, that which constitutes me, because it is in knowing me that I become. It is in knowing me that I begin to define the future that I want to experience, the future that I desire. It starts this moment, today, this day, this date. So, have you ever wondered who you are? Has this question ever crossed your mind at any moment of your life? Every day I reflect about this question. It takes me to a number of ways that I can define me as I. When I was born, I was named by my parents. Sometimes these names were based on maybe the people who had just lived life before us, people who had lived exemplary lives, that our parents felt that this would be a good person for my child to be named after. Sometimes they experience this through their through their dreams. Sometimes maybe these occasions had just happened. There were times when we were named after events and the happenings of our everyday life situations. Whatever way, whichever parameter was used to give us that name, that was never in vain. To date, it represents and means a lot to the person that we are. It is how our today's existence gets to interconnect with the forces of the universe, the forces that continue to run down our veins every moment of our lives. For we are the universe, and the universe is manifest in us. When I was born, I was named Josh, a name I feel so proud to relate to, such that if you were to call me Paul, I probably may not respond. I may not relate to that identity, for I am called Joash. But my parents felt that this was not enough. They saw the need to give me a second name, and they called me Diamo. But oh, they felt this too wasn't enough. They also called me Simu. Does my name matter? Does it matter who I get to be named? What I get to be called? It does matter. My first name, Joash, represents my Christian identity. It reminds me that I was raised as a Christian and therefore I worship as a Christian. Joash is my Christian identity. It grounds me to the Christian faith. I may have overgrown maybe the faith as it was introduced to me. Maybe I have learned from other traditions as well, but the very foundation of my spirituality is Christianity. And from thence I beget my name, Joash. But I'm not just a Christian, I am also an African, and for that matter, an African Christian. And my African identity is therefore represented by my second name, Diamo. It reminds me of my Africanhood, that I am an African. That is where I belong. Therefore, Joash Diemo is an African Christian. My parents, father saw the need to name me Sigu. Sigu, a name I got by default. It is my surname. As a surname, maybe they had very little choice, but just that I had to be that, to be Sigu. And therefore I'm Joash Diemo Sigu. Once again, my name revealing not just my Christianity, not just my African roots, but also reminds me that as an African, I belong to a family, to a clan. And for that reason, if I met somebody called Siku, I would immediately understand that we share a common ancestry. And as a clan, each clan in Africa had its own unique ways of doing things. They were a people with a common lineage. And so that even in my Christianity today, I'm reminded of those African family roots from where I originated. And therefore, my names are loaded with meaning. They are not just random names. Ngugi wa Thiong'o asks in his books, what is in a name? And we can tell for sure there's so much in a name. It is the reason we instantly relate to the names that we are familiar with, that we understand, the names that we know are ours. But beyond a name, do we exist? Our names do not reveal the entirety of who we are. We are more than our names. If we were to be stripped of all those names as part of our identity, we would still exist. We would still be there. And that begs the question then, who are we beyond our names? Our names, as I have already shared, and each one has have their own way of relating to their names, but they give us the foundation of who we become, from which we begin to experience life. And as we experience life, we interact with the forces of the universe that give us experiences, opportunities, challenges, which continue to shape the person that we become. And oftentimes we achieve quite a lot in the course of our existence. That which we achieve defines the person that we are. Many people have successfully gone through education, have studied to become engineers, to become doctors, to become teachers, maybe a driver, to become anything, a lawyer, whatever it is that we have surpassed and achieved in our life forms part of our identity. People go through many things to be called a doctor, and to add that prefix before their name means a lot. No wonder sometimes we even forget to call them by their names. We only call them by their achievements. We call them Mwalimu. We call them Wakili. We call them Daktari or Mkulima. Those have become our identity. Our achievements are part and parcel of our identity. Nevertheless, they do not define who we really are. As important as they may be, we are more than our names. We are more than our achievements. For if we were to be stripped of all these manifestations, we will still be. And for that reason, we ask ourselves, who then are we? Who am I without my names, without my achievements? Who am I? And if I was to go deeper, I'm forced then to look inside, not outside. And as I look inward into my own being, I realize that it is possible for me to exist without all these which are known to define me. No wonder God reveals God's self as I am, nothing more. And in the book of Genesis, God says, let's create the man in our own image and likeness. That image and likeness has only one true identity: I am. Sometimes that identity is both tangible and intangible. We know it exists, in both its physical form and in immaterial form. We are divine, for God has created us in God's own image and likeness. And if God has created us as God's self, as I am, then you begin to realize that at the core of our being, at the core of our existence, we are, and we are divine. For the divinity of God is manifest upon each and every one of us. As Mandela puts it, it is not just in some of us, it is in all of us. We manifest God's existence. To be human is to be divine. It is for this reason that our identity as a divine manifestation of God's presence, we are called to be bigger than ourselves. We are called to manifest goodness, for in the core of our being, we are rich with goodness. It is only when we understand this noble call that sprouts from the core of our identity that we begin to understand the purpose for which we are called into existence. If we do not understand why we are called into existence, our life becomes meaningless. It becomes fruitless. We only then exist without any clarity of why we're here in the first place. Our identity is a call to understand our mission, our purpose for existence. In our next video, we will want to explore a little bit more about that purpose, which is uniquely manifest in individual beings, but as well as in our collective existence, our collective responsibility to make heaven present here on earth. Until our next time, goodbye for now.